Si hablas español y no entiendes inglés, por favor refiere al video anterior que publiqué esta mañana, hoy mismo, y puedes ver el mismo tema pero en tu propio idioma. En este video voy a hablar en español, en inglés. So yeah, going back to that, I was just telling any Spanish speaking viewers to just head on over to the previous video that was in Spanish. Wow, it's pretty damn loud right now. Can't get out yet, so I'll just talk here. So, I was talking about the concept of equality versus justice. And I noticed that a lot of people have a gross misunderstanding of what justice is because they're hung up on quote-unquote equality. And equality is like getting the same size, you know, a piece of the pie that's the same size as what everybody else has gotten. It's getting the same as everybody, irregardless of your needs, irregardless of your hunger, your health, any of your personal individual needs and parameters. And that in and of itself, there's nothing wrong with it, but it is part of our ego mind. It's part of this whole idea that if you hurt me, I hurt you. If you're cold, then if I'm cold, you should be cold. If I'm warm, you should be warm. And in and of itself, foundationally, it's not bad to want other people to have things and to want to have our own things. And compare. I think it's natural for humans to compare. It's natural for the psyche in its earlier stages of development to be like, hey, I see somebody else just got water. I want some too. But we need to go deeper as we grow and develop and become more aware and conscious as beings, as our own soul. That no matter what, the question is not, did I get the same amount as Peter and Mary? The question is, am I getting my individual needs met? And am I communicating those into the world so that I can actually have them met? And we see this a lot, like, this is not an example I used in the Spanish version, because in the Spanish version I talk a lot more about children and parents giving their children things, but in this case, with regards to what I'm really thinking about is like capitalism and communism and this idea that everybody needs to be equal. We're not equal. We're all unique. That means no one looks exactly the same as you. They don't fit in the same box that you think you fit in. In fact, you don't fit in a box either. But when we create this inorganic kind of system, we separate from our true nature, and then we're not having our needs met. I said Ned Smith. Our needs met. We're actually trying to check off boxes of an arbitrary system of value. So arbitrary value systems are problematic because they ignore the nature of the soul, which is unique. You are a unique expression of life. You're a unique expression of consciousness. You see the world from your unique perspective. There's no way to change that. I cannot tell you to think like me. No matter how many stories I share on this channel, in the past, in the present, and in the future, the reality is that you are going to see things from your own perspective, your unique idea, your unique print. And that is beautiful. That makes for a beautiful harmonics. We need to accept it. We need to embrace it. That's why, like, in a lot of different communities that are currently coming up with what most Orthodox people want to call countercultures, we notice that people are like adamant about, binary, black and white, female, male, and then there's a whole bunch of conversation about spectrums. And spectrums are a fact. Reality works on a spectrum. It's a spectrum of light, which your eyes perceive and your brain translates into, like, I'm driving right now and I'm looking at, let me switch over, I'm looking at the train station. And the way that that thing looks to me that way because of the spectrum of lighting. The spectrum of all the different textures, they reflect light in a different way. And those colors too. This is just basic science, physics, biology, all the different things, light theory, all those different things, reflection. You cannot remove science and perception and reality and texture and light and the spectrum of it all, which is the same as numericals. Numericals are spectrums. If you count from 0 to 10, you're using ordinances or binary ordinances because it's arbitrary. You chose. But if logic would have it, the first number is not 0. It's a minus infinite because it isn't even the first because it keeps looping. Anyways, I am going into a whole other path in this English video, and that makes sense because English is actually my first language, or my hardcore language, hardcore, not hardcore, but hardcore, which is that I express myself more freely and more openly and more authentically in English. In Spanish, I have to think a lot. And that just has to do with like being years and years of expressing myself in Spanish, in English. I mean, reading and all the material I consume is in English, and communities I'm in English. But anyways, regardless of that, so we cannot cut reality or life into these equal little boxes of life. We can't. We cannot. It's stupid to even expect it. Everyone's gonna need something else, and the spectrum changes. So equality, the principles of equality is that everybody has their needs met. But the way that it's being portrayed and how people want to use it makes no sense. We're supposed to be pursuing justice, and justice makes the conscious choice to pay attention to people's unique needs in the moment. For example, I mentioned an example about being in a community and everyone needing, everyone fighting and vying for everyone to have a roof over their house, or take mansions away from rich people and give them to poor people who don't even have a house. And I asked myself, well, have you ever thought of asking the people what they really need to feel fulfilled and satisfied? Because I imagine if you gave me a mansion right now, I would not be very happy. I do need a house. I rent one right now, and I know how much I spend on it. But my needs my more pressing needs are, for example, paying off debt, buying a plot of land that I can choose to do with it what I want, and part of what I want is to live in the midst of a bunch of trees. So you give me a mansion, I'm not gonna be too happy. And if everyone gets a mansion, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, guess what? If you give me a car, but it's a sedan, it doesn't serve me. I have 5 kids and I drive around with 2 other adults, so we need a freaking truck. Like a 7-seater, 8-seater, 12-seater, whatever. But it needs to fit our needs. It can't just be the bare minimum of everybody gets a car. That Oprah meme. So basically, when I think about it, one of the things that most people are always constantly arguing about is equality, because I want to be treated equal. I want to be treated like I'm welcome. And that's really what people are saying. I want to feel validated. I want to feel valued. And guess what? Not to say, Rodolfo, mira el video anterior. En ese video estoy hablando del mismo tema, pero en español, porque primero hablé en español y ahora lo estoy hablando en inglés. But yeah, so going back in that, is that it's okay to want to feel valued and want to experience that, but getting the same thing everybody else has isn't what is going to give you that feeling of worth, because self-worth and feeling welcome comes from within. You need to heal the things inside of you that make you feel unwelcome in the world. And at first, when I started this journey as an ex-Jehovah's Witness, it was the Jehovah's Witness indoctrination made me feel like I don't matter, I'm worthless, nobody cares if I'm here or not, as long as if I'm not in the cult. And okay, that's a beginning. It's a beginning of an awakening, of an awareness recognize that something is wrong and it stinks in the bathroom and you think someone didn't flush. Now you go and you flush it. But now there's something else going on because the bathroom is actually not well ventilated. Let's start with that. What is going on in there? What does it need? If you look at the bathroom, then you're going to really find out how to clean it. And this is basically where most people stop. They don't want to look at what's going on inside of them to fix it. They just want to flush the shit and keep going. Sorry, this is me in English. I just talk about everything and everything comes up and it's like fuck. Very improvised. But I didn't talk about that in a Spanish video, which is funny. So basically, gracias Rodolfo. Basically, when we don't look within, we don't address why we don't feel valued, but we don't feel valued most of the times because our needs haven't been met. And as long as our needs are not met, we're going to keep feeling that way. So the question is not, did I flush the shit? Or, is there shit? It's what else is going on that creates the need inside of me to leave that room. Sorry. I'm like, why are you talking about shit and not flushing? Oh, I know, because every time we talk about Jehovah's Witnesses, I think back about my childhood, and one of my biggest traumas was being blamed when someone forgot to flush, and I knew it wasn't me, but I still was the one blamed, and my dad would say, Jehovah's watching you, he knows you took a dump in the toilet, and I'd be like, Jehovah saw me, really? I didn't even do it, but okay. And I was always to blame. It was always me because I'm the eldest. I did it, even if I didn't do it. My rule at home is, if no one did it, everyone helps to clean it up. And now that's my community view. Like, we work together. What our needs are is the bathroom is clean. And everybody else needs that to feel comfortable. So we ensure that we all work together. So I go like, 3 kids, we're doing stuff, everybody cleans it, let's do it together. That's community. What I'm really vehemently against is communism or Marxism, where we're saying everybody needs to get the same pie. Everybody needs to get the same, Jesus, that light is in my eye. But everyone needs to get the same piece of pie. Everyone needs to get the same things. No one's needs are being met. You're still feeling worthless. You're still not feeling equal or valued or loved or welcome. So what's the answer? The answer is to seek justice. And justice is weighing every situation and seeing what needs to be done. What is the appropriate measure of, punishment, if we want to talk about justice in the case of getting what you deserve for your actions. But let's remove the judgment from it and just say you get what you deserve. But deserve means what serves you. So, what serves you. Sometimes what you've done means you deserve, for example, a break or, a plate of food or a big warm hug. Roof over your head might be part of it, but are we pursuing justice? Or are we just pursuing everybody get this arbitrary box and, it's like, I can't use all of it. I won't use all of it. Great that you gave it to me, but I'm still not having my needs met. And having our needs met is very important. And I think in the future, it's more important than all these communistic ideas of take from the rich and give it to the poor and try to equalize things. Equality is just not great. It's not great. Equity is not great. You know what's great? Justice. What's great is people's needs being met. Another thing that I talk about is that when these needs are met and people are happy and they feel welcome and valued and they have that inherent value of themselves, they can start looking around themselves and celebrate other people's situations and wins and gifts, even though they have something lacking. Something's missing in their life. And in the E&M or polyamorous groups, it's considered to be called compersion. And compersion means that it's not compassion, but it's like not the same, but I can be happy for you even though it has nothing to do with me, and I'm not comparing myself to you, because ego in this pursuit of equality, of having the same things, it becomes this jealous little goblin going like, she got that shoe and I deserve shoes too. I like them too. I want to look pretty too. I want to be part of the collective. We're not a collective hive mind. We're unique beings that together create this harmonious spectrum of life. It's like light. There's so many different frequencies of light that we can't see, frequencies of sounds, all the different octave. And harmonics of life is the same as harmonics of music. You have to be unique, and you get what you need to match you. And you're constantly going to get that in your life. And one of the biggest things you need to do is look around your life and go, am I getting justice? Am I getting what I need? And a lot of times we're tormented by comparing ourselves to others and wanting equality, and we're not seeing the things that we have in our lives. And then we don't appreciate anything, and then we lose it, because when you don't appreciate it means that you don't value it. It means that you didn't need it. I didn't want it. And this is the message that we're sending out into the world. Like, I didn't want this. I don't value it. I don't appreciate it. I don't think, hey, this is a great support for me. We start shifting into that. We're able to pursue justice and be just. And being just is basically righteousness. So there, slam dunk. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you, and any topics you want me to touch on. I will be trying to do a little bit more consistent videos, but I can't promise that because my family needs go first, and it's very busy and very squirrely right now. But I love doing these. I love talking to myself in the car in front of a camera. So that was it for me today. Have a great day. Bye.